Goddard Weather Center. We're talking on the Facebook Live here, the dense fog advisory, what's coming up today and the next 24 to 48 hours. And then the 8 day forecast, of course, which I'm working on the latest 8 day here. I don't see any real huge changes that you'll see if you join us at 4 o'clock than what I showed you at noon if you tuned in. All right, so here's the big picture. I always like to start with the weather headlines, just like you get caught up with the news headlines. We got weather headlines too. The soggy pattern's going to continue to this evening, about 7, 8 o'clock, and you'll see that in a second. We got some rain coming in. Could be heavy at times around midnight, and then it gets out of here overnight tonight, and then we're drier for Friday and Saturday. And then the milder 40s and 50s will cool down into the 30s and 40s for the rest of the 8 day, but that's still much warmer than those sub-zero wind chills that we saw last week. And it takes that. I mean, wouldn't you agree? It takes some of those prolonged, terrible, cold temperatures to make us appreciate the 30s and say, you know what? 30s ain't that bad. But anyway, all right. So we got the dense fog advisory still in effect until 10 o'clock tonight. Obviously the fog will be very dense at times and in certain places, especially if you're in the country roads, if you're in the suburbs where you're away from the city lights and things like that. It can really get dangerous out there. I remember one day, just a little quick story. I was driving from Dayton to Columbus, and if you've ever did that, it's right on 70 there. And I literally, it was so foggy, I could not see anything in front of me, nothing. And so you're trying to go the speed limit, what's like 65, 70 miles an hour, but you can't because by the time you see the headlights of another car, you are already in the back seat of that car. So, these dense fog advisories just really nothing to play around with. So just be careful out there. There's the moral of the story. All right, what happens meteorologically with fog, by the way? You get warm and moist air, which right now is those 40s and 50s that we're seeing. And with the rain coming in, that air is obviously moist. It's moving over colder ground, snow covered in this case, as well as just the cold ground period because we've had that extended period of cold temperatures and then the snow came. What that does is that cold air right on the ground and with the snow, it forces that warm moist air to cool, and when that warm moist air cools down, it gets fully saturated, and that's what the fog is. It's full saturation of that air when it cools down, and so it's called advection and radiation fog, real similar to if you're out at the west coast and you are, say, San Francisco, I believe, is really popular about the fog that comes in from the Pacific Ocean. And so that's advection fog right there because you got the warmer air that's moving over the cooler Pacific waters. And so that is making that marine layer, if you will, with clouds and fog. All right, here's the visibility currently. There is especially a lot of fog out west towards 75. And then there's some fog over towards, I'd say, Medina County, down into places like Worcester, and down into Holmes County. So heads up that it could be dense in spots up in Lorain, too. We're seeing some fog. So what do we got? Ashtabula County as well. Ashtabula County, Lorain County, down into Medina County, Wayne County, Holmes County, all seeing some denser fog or heavier fog, if you will. Everybody else seems to be okay. It's foggy in spots here and there, but it'll become more dense as we go throughout the evening time. Temperatures are nice. 58 in New Philadelphia, 46, 47 up near the lake. So if you're up near the cooler lake, you're going to be in the 40s, not unlike springtime. You're in the 40s, upper 40s, mid to upper 40s. Then away from the lake, we're in the mid 50s there. It's a nice, if you like these temperatures. I always give you people who love winter a little credit and say, unfortunately, you're not seeing what you'd like to see right now. But we'll get back to that. So temperature's going to be in the 40s here for the evening time and foggy with the rain showers coming in about 7, 8 o'clock. For January, this January, we got 9.5 inches of snow. This is Cleveland Hopkins, by the way. For the season, we've got 16.3 inches of snow. Going back 10 years of Januaries, 10 Januaries, we've all been below normal snowfall except for 2022. Now, that was the year that I came, to the end of 2021 into 2022. And I say that because I remember in January we got a 2-foot storm. Excuse me, fighting a cold here. We got a 2-foot storm, and then 2 weeks later, a 1-foot storm. So that is the year that we were above average snowfall. But other than that, so if you're thinking, hey, listen, over the past decade here in Northeast Ohio, we haven't received as much snowfall as we normally do, then you're right. You're right. We haven't, except for 2022 when we tried to make up for it. I remember shoveling my car. I had to come to work, and I remember it took a half an hour for me not only to clean my car off, but I was living in an apartment complex at the time where they plowed, obviously, and I was up against with all the other cars, and so they snow you in when they plow. So I had to dig out of that. I didn't have a shovel. The apartment complex didn't have any of the loaner shovels. Everybody else was using them. So I had to use my scraper / brush, those long things. I had to use that to make a path. So it took me a half an hour. So that was a really snowy winter there. All right, enough of me. Here's what's going on as far as precipitation-wise. This afternoon, we're fine. We're looking at cloudy skies. See there about 3 o'clock, rains down south. Let me show you currently, before we get to the future cast, let me just back up real quick and show you where the rain actually is. Here's the satellite and radar. So you see there's a little bit of shower activity down by the Ohio River. And that'll move northward. Just had to take a swig of water there real quick, clear my throat. That's moving up, but the bigger batch down into Tennessee, that's what's coming in this evening. So we will be dry until just after the evening rush. There's 8 o'clock right there. So we got scattered showers, maybe even a brief rain-snow mix up by the lake. But for the most part, showers down towards Tuscarawas County, down into that area. Could be heavier pockets moving through. Then by midnight, could be heavy at times. If you're someone who stays up late, about midnight or so, there could be some times when you're saying, "Whoa, it's really coming down out there." And then by about 3 o'clock in the morning, it's all out of here, and then we are dry as we head into the day on Friday. So evening rush is fine. We get into prime time. If you're out and about, if you're going to be going to anything this evening, take the rain gear with you because you'll need it. So today, cloudy and foggy, warm temperatures about 50. Then tonight, scattered rain, staying mild and foggy in the 40s. Temperatures will drop through the day tomorrow, so we'll eventually get cooler. So that 50 that you see, it'll be more 40s for the day tomorrow as opposed to another 50 like today. Then 41 for Saturday. So we are getting cooler. 37 for Sunday. Sunday, I'm thinking more of a rain-snow mix. One of our models has Sunday being primarily snow showers. That's the model that doesn't tend to do well in the wintertime. So I don't think I'm taking much stock in that one. So I think we'll see a rain-snow mix on Sunday. Then, of course, for my Facebook Live crowd, we always have to have these teases on television to make you tune in, to make you watch. And so one of my teases yesterday was, and there is some snow in the forecast. I'll let you know when. And so, of course, that'll perk up like, what? Snow again? We just had snow. And so you tune in and you find, well, one of our models say we'll have some snow showers that won't amount to anything on Sunday. Then another says a rain-snow mix. So I talk about that and say, like which model would be right and which model I'm going with. I'm going with the more rain-snow mix. But anyway, this is the magic of television and teases. That's why we call it a tease. 34 on Monday, mostly cloudy. In today's day and age, in all honesty, teases, unless you're just the TV watching crowd only, teases might not be as effective if you have the app or if you go to the website for weather. because you already see the forecast right there. We already give it to you. It's like, oh, whatever. You didn't mention that on the app. You didn't mention it on the website in your forecast discussion. So, or if you watch every day, like, oh, I just saw you yesterday down there earlier today, and you said a rain snow mix. So, but if you are the TV only watching audience, which you probably won't be on this Facebook Live, that's why I give you the secrets. Then you're going to tune in when I say the tease of, oh, could there be snow, or there's snow in the forecast. 37, but which again, I can't say definitively on Sunday whether it will be a rain snow mix or all snow showers, but because I have a temperature of 37, that's more indicative of a rain snow mix and what we call model bias. Again, here's a meteorological thing for you. So when we look at weather models, model bias, what we call that is when one or two particular models handle certain seasons better than others. And so the model, the GFS, the Global Forecasting System model, it does not handle the winter season better than the Euro model. So the GFS has all snow showers for Sunday. It has rain Saturday night and snow showers on Sunday. But the more reliable model, the Euro, says it's just going to be a rain snow mix on Sunday. Either way, there's going to be some snow mixed in there, but more than likely it'll be as opposed to pure snow, a rain snow mix. Same thing for Tuesday, rain snow mix, 37. So in case you think, well, you're just lying to us, no, I mean there could be, and models have been wrong. And then there's snow mixed in there as well as with the rain. It's not pure rain like what we're having this week. All right, so Wednesday, Thursday, back into the 40s. So we get back warmer again to wind down January and get you into February. It gets a little cool start of the week next week, where overnight lows are in the upper 20s and, of course, the daytime highs in the 30s. But that's kind of normal. At least the daytime highs are. Our average daytime high this time of year is about 35. So we're right there in the wheelhouse. And then overnight lows, our average overnight low for this time of year, 22. So yes, that's a Taylor Swift song, but we're still doing good for ourselves in the upper 20s for overnight lows for early next week. I know that one of our producers just turned 22, and we would tease her and sing and play that song for her. All right, so that is it. Let me put this microphone back on me here. I hold it up to my mouth so that y'all can hear me better when I'm doing that. Maybe I'll just keep holding it. That is the forecast here. Again, not a lot of changes from the noon, just some tweaks here and there. But I will see you at 4 o'clock when my friends Mackenzie Bart and Andre Bernier join me. Have a great one, everybody.